Hi there, and welcome to the Still Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Fortune Paule, and if you're new here, welcome to the space that's all about progression, not perfection. The fact that we are becoming people, which means we have not arrived at who we're meant to be yet, but we are just getting to our destination. And so I invite you into this space and happy Still Learning Monday. Today's conversation is an interesting one. It's definitely one that, if I'm being honest, I didn't want to record or talk about because I don't even know how to talk about it. I don't even know where to start or where I want to go. But I guess I can kind of kick off this conversation with a question for us, a question that not that I don't have the answer to it. And maybe actually I don't have the answer to it, but a question that I'm just trying to process myself, which is, what do we do when God answers our prayers, but it's not in the way that we expect? And how do we reconcile that? And this question comes from news that I recently got yesterday. So if you guys remember, a couple months back at the end of last year, I got in a car accident, and I'm okay, guys, but my car definitely took some damage. And the last 2 months, I have been going through trying to get it repaired and figure out what I can do. And it's just been an ongoing, very long, tedious, stressful, and frustrating process, and a process that I've just been like, I'm gonna have faith and believe in God, and you're gonna restore my car, God, and you're gonna return it to me whole, and everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna work out. Like, this delay, this pushback is nothing in comparison, like, your timing is perfect. Saying all the things to really encourage myself. And as of yesterday, my car was deemed a total loss. And receiving that news was really hard. And if I laugh, if I smile, guys, I promise you it's not because it's funny, because nothing about this situation is funny. It's either I laugh or I cry. It's literally that. And I think for me, like, when I got that news, I had to really be like, God, this isn't what I thought. Like, this isn't how I thought you're gonna work out this situation. This isn't what I prayed for. I thought I was gonna get my car back. I thought it was gonna be restored to me whole. Like, why is this happening? Why did it have to happen this way? I mean, thank you for my life and how you've been sustaining me the last 2 months, but the way I've been dealing with this situation has been so stressful, just for this to be the end result. Like, I didn't think this would be the end result. This isn't the end result I prayed for. And I'm not mad at you, God, because I know that you're good, and that if you don't give me the answer I want, it's because you have a better answer. And I know that to be true, but it's really difficult facing the truth of your reality and then also the truth. I remember when I broke the news to my family and I was talking to my mom about it, and my mom was like, I prayed about the situation yesterday morning before I got the news. And she was like, I just asked God to intervene, and this is how God has chosen to intervene. And that really sat with me in that moment, because I was like, yeah, I'm praying for God to intervene. I'm praying for God to make a way. I'm praying for God to renew and redeem and restore the situation. And this is how he's chosen to do it. It's not the way that I expected. It's not the way that I personally would have suggested. It definitely wasn't a suggestion of mine in this case, but this is how he's done it. And I'm someone who says, I want to align myself to your will, Father, and I want to be in line with you. And it doesn't matter what choice or decisions you make. Like, God, help me be submitted to that and truly desire that. I want that too. And it's all true, but it's also really hard. I think these are like the parts of our Christian faith, our Christian walk, where it's like, I understand this. I know that God is good. I believe that He's good, but the situation really sucks. I know that He's working everything out for my good. I know that He's faithful. I know that He's true, but this sucks. This sucks. This isn't what I wanted. And yes, I understand that not everything that I want is always good for me, but this isn't what I wanted. I think what makes it even harder is, yes, it's a car and cars can be replaced. I mean, thank God I have my life because it could have been another thing. It could have been a lost car or a lost life. So we thank God that I have my life and that I'm here, that He sustained me through it all. Like, it's so important to have gratitude. And so some people might just be like, it's just a car, you can get a new one. But to me, it wasn't just a car. I don't think I realized how much sentimental value this car held to me until I got the news that it was a total loss. This car was my father's car, and it was like one of the last slash few things that I have of his left. And I just honestly, I completely broke down because I just felt like I already lost him and I lost so many things. And now here's another thing that I'm losing, like another part of him that I'm losing that's being taken away from me. And I just felt like I disappointed him in that moment. Like I felt like I let him down by like this was something that he left in my care and something that I inherited, and like now it's gone. And it was just really hard, guys. It still is pretty hard. I try not to like, I feel like if I think about it too hard, I'll just start crying here. Like, and I know like I have so many like memories and other things that belong to him and the pictures and things that I could hold, but there was just something about being able to like drive in the same car that he drove in, like sit in the driver's seat, like he did, because my dad never got to see me like obtain my license and do the whole process. And so in that way, it kind of felt like he was, you know, able to see me like drive and be an adult. And because he never got to experience that, I never got to like have a father see me grow up into my adult years now. And it's just like, God, why? Like, did I not have enough hope? Did I not have enough faith, God? Like, was I not believing enough? Did I not fast hard enough? It's all these things that you like, like this weird thing that we think that if we have enough faith, if we pray harder, if we fast harder, then it's gonna happen exactly the way we want it to. And it says this kind of thing, you've got like a genie or some kind of equation. Like, no, he is a person with will and with ways and with a purpose and plans. And it's always going to be his plan that prevails over your own desires. So I really was like that with God. I was just like, are you like punishing me? Like, did I do something wrong? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? Because it wasn't even just this accident, guys. I feel like this accident and the total loss of my car is just like that final nail in the coffin. Ever since I moved down here, I've been dealing with so many issues with my car, with it being registered. Like, just so many back-to-back, very honestly stressful situations with my car. And it just felt like one thing after another. And I was just waiting for the beautiful, like, tie the bow knot resolution. Everything works out. Everything's perfect. Everything I went through all the stress, all the hardship, all the complications, all the delays would not be for nothing. And it would be in perfect shape. And now here I am, and I am wondering, was it for nothing? I know it's not, because I know the God I serve. Like, and that's where this conflict is, and the difficulty to reconcile what's currently going on, because I know this was purposeful. I I know there's so many ways that this is gonna work out for my good, because it simply has to, because that's simply God. That's who I serve. I know that to be true, but I don't understand why. Like, why this way? What do I need to learn from this? And I know you're not punishing me, God. I know you love me and you care about me, and you honestly want, like, what you want for me is far better than what I can want for myself. But here I am, and I really do think it's interesting how yesterday and today the Lord has led me to read the book Habakkuk. And I don't even know if I was pronouncing that correctly, but Habakkuk. And the first chapter is Habakkuk's complaint to God and just him, like, and I really feel like what Habakkuk was trying to communicate in that moment to God was, I see this, and I know you see what I see, but I can't see what you see. So give me your view. Like, and I feel like I really am relating to him in that sense of, like, God, like, I know you see what I'm seeing. Like, I know you see my circumstance. I know you see what I'm going through. Like, I know you see my reality just as much as I see my reality. Like, we see each other. But I can't see what you see, God. God, you have this bird's eye view. You have this vantage point that I don't have. You see the bigger picture. Help me to see the bigger picture. That just had to become my prayer, guys. Like, I was like, God, help me to see what you see. Because right now in this situation, I don't know what you see. I don't know how you see this coming together, because this is definitely what I was not what I was seeing, nor what I saw coming. But you did. You know all things, the beginning, middle, and end. So give me your vantage point, because I need it. Like, it's simply that I need it, and this is what my circumstance is presenting to me. But I had to remind myself that we don't serve a circumstantial God. As human beings, I know that we would love to think that we kind of set and determine our lives, and there we have a lot more control than we do, when we really don't. A lot of the times we are responding, we are reacting more than we are actually setting things up. And I had to really recognize that God isn't responding like I am. He's not reacting, because he already knew this. He already set this time apart. Like, he already knew all these things were, like, he's the orchestrator, not the one who is an object of the orchestration. So in remembering that, I was like, okay, God, I need you to show me your view. I need you to show me where this is going, because I this isn't the direction I was heading for, or I thought we were heading for. Like, genuinely, guys, nowhere throughout this whole process and journey did I think that I would end up losing my car. Like, that wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind. I genuinely was like, this is process gonna take long, it's gonna be delayed, but God's gonna work everything out. He always does. Like, duh. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. And it's not that I doubt now that he's working everything out. I know that he is. It's just not the way that I thought. So, how do I submit myself to your way? And honestly, maybe I just need to humble myself, because I thought you were going to do it my way. yeah, I thought you were gonna do it the way I wanted it to be done, executed the way I wanted you to execute it, God, and forgive me for that, genuinely, because clearly that's not the case. So now that my plan has completely gone out the window, what's yours? I mean, honestly, at this point, your plan is the only option. And I do mean it when I say, like, though this is quite painful um situation. I do mean it when I say I'm not mad at God. I'm not angry with him. I'm not even like, God, you disappointed me or let me down. I don't feel that way at all. I'm just more so like, okay, God, clearly this is your will. This is the way you decided to intervene. This is the way you decided to answer and solve my situation. Okay, cool. Where do I go from here now? Because I don't know where else to go. Like, and maybe I don't need to know where else to go besides just further leaning and trusting in him and pivoting. Pivoting from what I wanted and desired and fully leaning into what you have authored and determined. You already knew. Like, I just think back to the last 4 or 5 months of these issues with my career and just thinking, like, maybe for me, it was constant delays, but for you, God, it was always going to end up getting to this point. And maybe it needed to get to this point. Like, there's a purpose here. You are intentional, God. Like, God is too intentional, too specific about timings and ordaining things and about our lives and every single detail for this to be coincidence or for this to be anything but his hand over my life. And so reveal it to me, God. Show me. Today I was reading Habakkuk chapter 2, and it really was that where God was like, okay, listen, let me give you this revelation. Let me give you this understanding. Because Habakkuk was like, God, I don't get it. I'm trying to get what you're getting, but something isn't clicking. And I think that's just me right now. Like, God, something isn't, it's clicking, but it's not clicking. It's not fully there yet. I need you to put the pieces together for me. So that is what I've been dealing with. The funny thing is, because I don't want this to be like a whole like, oh my God, it's like sad and struggle and yeah. Like, God has, I really want to iterate, God has been so faithful to me in this journey and managed me upholding my finances, helping me navigate the situation, and literally sending destiny helpers, people who have been so gracious to me, who have offered rides, who have prayed for me during this situation, who have supported me, have encouraged me, and who are even helping me in the next steps of what I do after this, now that my car is considered a total loss, and even just navigating that like financially and just with wisdom, because guys, I've never bought a car before. Like, this was my first ever car. I inherited it. I don't know what a car note is. Like, the car was paid off. Like, I'm just a girl. I I don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm so grateful that God has sent destiny helpers, has sent people in my life to really help me navigate the situation and know what to and help me know what to do next. Cause I don't know what I'm doing next. I'm just trusting God and just trying to make peace of what is happening. And listen, I think it's me having to remind myself with God, when one thing is lost, is so that another thing can be gained. Think of Isaiah, right? In the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, I want to say verse 18 to 19. Fact check me on it. But it talks about how, God is doing a new thing. Do not perceive it. It talks about how God is doing a new thing. And in order for new things to happen, old things have to go. And it was so funny because as the situation's happening, and I'm talking to God about it, he is there like, don't you remember the episode you recorded? And a couple episodes back, guys, you guys know it's outdated. I believe it's episode 15. And that whole episode was just like, you have to let go of old things. so that new things can be brought into your life. And God is creating space for a new thing to be brought into my life. And he probably knew I would have let go of that old, especially because it held such sentimental value to me. I think that's honestly the hardest thing for me in this situation. Like, not even just losing, like, yes, losing a car, losing a means of transportation is like difficult, especially since it was my primary source of transportation. But I've been managing the last 2 months, and I know I will be okay, and God will allow me to still be okay for however much longer I am without transportation, my primary source of transportation, to really say. The sentimental value has been the hardest part for me, and I I think I'm still processing it. I don't know. I think it's so interesting how I keep saying I think it's so interesting. I think it's so funny. Like, nothing's funny, but like, just because like, I'm just trying to process this, and where to go from here. Where to go from here? Like, how do we reconcile when God didn't answer your prayer the way that you wanted? When it, like, the outcome, like, you're asking for a good outcome, and this is it. But you're like, oh, like, God, when I said intervene, when I said make a way, when I said, I want your outcome, this is it. This isn't what I asked for. This isn't what it looked like. This wasn't the package deal. This wasn't the package deal. It definitely wasn't in my 2026 bingo card that this would that this would happen to me. But here we are. Here we are, and though I did not expect it, and though it may not have been what I anticipated, God did. And I'm just glad he's still with me and that he's still faithful. And I am really grateful for where I'm at now spiritually with my walk with God, and just where I'm at relationships relationally with him, where even in this moment, even when it's really hard and difficult in your circumstances, I still really trust his character to be good. I still trust his judgment. This is God's judgment. This is what he has decided. And it's good. It's good. I just have to ask him to help me understand why it's good. But I know it's good. Like, because he's good. There's no doubt about that. There's no argument. It's good. It's purposeful. And 2020 is hindsight, is what I like to say. And so just bearing that before him and helping him to make me make sense of it. So to answer our question, and honestly, guys, I wish I had some perfect cookie cutter answer response for us, but I really don't. I think what's just been helping me is one, gratitude, focusing on all the things that I do have and not what I've lost. I think what's helped me is reframing my mind from this thing of, oh, that I've just lost something, but now also here's an opportunity to gain. And it's always thinking, like, if you're losing something, you're gonna gain something even better. Like, believing in that, truly trusting in that. And then I think it's just remembering God's character. Just remembering who he is, and that he's so faithful, and that he's so true, even when it doesn't look like what you thought it would, even when it's not what you expected. It's a lot better. It's a lot better and greater for things to be in God's will and not in my will. And if that looks like me simply having to learn to submit and align myself to his will, so be it. It's not easy. And sometimes I may not always understand it, but he doesn't leave me floundering around. He's more than willing, more than able to bring me to a place of understanding, contentment, peace, And he desires to bring understanding to me and revelation. And he desires to help me see his vantage point. He desires to help me see what he sees, see the bigger picture, see the details and the things that I'm missing, the intricacies that further prove that he's a good God and a provider, a way maker. He made a way, just not the way that I thought, but he still made a way. He provided, just not in the way that I thought or thought that I would need, but he still provided. That doesn't erase who he is or how I experience him or the way I'm in relationship with him. This is just another opportunity for me to further lean in, depend on him, and allow him to show me just how good he is and just how good it can get. Because better is ahead. That is a promise. So holding on to that and allowing that to see me through. So I hope that if you are also experiencing and dealing with trying to reconcile with how God has answered a prayer or how he is helping you navigate circumstances or just the hardships of life, I truly hope that this makes you feel seen and it has been encouraging for you. And I truly believe we will all make it on the other side. And it's 2020. In hindsight, we'll see how it's all been good. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed today's conversation of Still Learning. And I will see you next week for another episode. Bye.